we're talking about. If you're walking in that conduct, you'll have the opportunity, right, if you're sincerely walking in it, to be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
Right.
Which is what we all should be seeking. Salvation is the goal, and to enjoy the kingdom in fullness and see the downfall of our enemies. You got something?
This is Romans 11, verse 7. What then? Israel has not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election has obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Yeah, the rest of our people, if somebody doesn't get this understanding, it's because it's not written in their story for them to get it.
Yep.
Now, the election hath obtained what they've been seeking for. Our people go all across the world, every walk of life, every belief, trying to fill that hole because they know something is missing. They understand that something's off about this place, but they try to fill that hole with a bunch of carnality.
Right.
Things that aren't spiritually beneficial. All right? So they end up just destroying themselves, and nothing is ever enough. But we have what we need to be sufficed. Our inward man is renewed day by day. Go ahead.
Right. Verse 8, it say, according as it is written, Yahweh Shem Yahushua has given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear. Until this day.
That's like it.
Yeah.
That's why the statement holds true. If a nigga doesn't get it, we just move on. Because at the end of the day, we do understand that there's people that aren't meant to get it. You can be as articulate as you want to be. Very bright person, break things down as simple as you want. Funny. Right. Charismatic. You can have all these personality traits, but if the Lord has ordained for somebody not to get it, you're wasting your time. Okay? And that's what a lot of people that know the Israelites don't get. They want to get everybody.
Right.
That's not, the Lord never worked that way. Even from the beginning of the book. All right? We're talking about the same power that killed everybody and saved 8 people during the flood. The same power that destroyed 5 cities and saved Lot and his 2 daughters. The Lord doesn't deal with big numbers. Also, when you go to 2nd Ezra 9 and 15, 16, it tells you that salvation shall be likened unto there be many of them that perish, right? Like as a wave is greater than a drop
in the bucket,
You know what I mean? The Lord doesn't deal with big numbers, man. Go ahead. Read that last part again.
Come on. Back in Romans 11, verse 8, it says, according as it is written, Yahweh Shem Yahushua have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that should not see, and ears that should not hear until this day.
That's right. So like it says in Matthew 13, right? It is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. So everybody doesn't get access to those beautiful garments, man.
Right.
To really put them on, like the elders been going into.
Right, I got this for you. This is Zephaniah 3 and 12. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Trusting in that name. So the elect also are going to have the name of the Lord. The scriptures tell you what? The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. And those that call upon that name, there's also a conduct that comes with calling upon that name. If you actually know that name, you know there's a way that you have to operate in.
Right.
And I just subbed in for the 3rd quarter. You got the 4th.
Right, nah, shit. You got it.
You know, if I can say, he's going to leave it in the midst. So those men, the ones that receive their word, is going to be in the midst. Right. You can't see everything in the midst. You can have a select group of people that's going to be able to see who's in that midst, and let me go see and get some more of this understanding. It's a very minute people. Then we think about it, those are the ones that's going to have on what we started earlier with what? Those white arraignments that the Lord that we're preparing for. That's going to, even in Ephesians 6. Those are the ones that's doing away and stepping away from the world and putting on that armor. All right, the armor of salvation is what? Fighting the wiles of the devil. That's Ephesians 6, around the 4th verse.
Right.
And we're putting on that to put on the wiles of the devil. And when you think about it in the ancient time, when they putting on even now, when they put on certain things to get ready for war, you put on that armor, you got different layers. That's what you do in this troop as you grow. You put on more and more of those layers to what? To fight off those arrows of the devil.
Faith. In that chapter it says above all, the shield of faith.
Right.
So it breaks it down very clearly, even going back to King David, right? So taking out the shield, it really connects in the spirit of how you deal with the world through the strength of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Because walking by faith and not by sight, the faith is the strength of him that you believe in. Versus
Nigga will shoot his friend off of a cliff. Cliff fucking high as that nigga will shoot that nigga to where he dropped dead in front of his children. Niggas don't care about each other. The only time niggas care is when it comes to heathens.
Right.
quote it for you because you're saying not being frustrated with the chastisement. This is Job chapter 13, verse 15. Though he slay me, yet when I trust in him, but I will maintain my own way before him.
You're gonna maintain your way. Though he slays you, you're gonna be hit where it doesn't seem fair. All right. You may have had nigga speeding to a car right in front of you. You may have had this picture perfect idea of a life or a marriage or whatever it may be. But you in a situation where you still got to deal righteously, but it doesn't meet your fleshly standards.
Right.
You think that, and now what?
No, that's why you got to detach, man. You got to detach from this shit. Because the flesh is of America, man. You got to detach, man. You got to walk solely in the spirit, man.
That's right. That's right. And be careful. Be very careful of being entangled with things. Okay, because some of those entanglements can be very hard to get out of.
Yeah.
You sitting there trying to, like in your mind, you know you entangled, and you know if you get out of it, it's going to affect this person's going to be mad at you. This person's going to have a problem, and that's part of the world hating you,
Right.
because you choose the Lord, right, first, versus all these other things that's pleasing everybody else. It don't matter. You know?
That's why I said in Revelations, 18:4, to come out of her, my people. So the Lord is encouraging his people to come out of the ways of this place, man. Meaning detach from it through the flesh, because America is tied to the flesh. That's why I said put off the weak nature, which is the flesh, man.
Right.
We got to operate more in the spirit, to the best of our abilities.
It's
Man.
time to be a man.
Well, at
It's
the end
time
of
for
the
the
day,
men of the Lord to man up.
basically.
This is the perfect time for men, true, real men, to stand.
Right.
Now's the time. And this weak, effeminate. All right, it's time to just endure hardness as soldiers
No.
of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yep.
It's time for true men to stand up. That's the time we're in.
Oh, what's that, Isaiah?
That's what we're doing. This is a
what's
part
that?
of true manhood, again, ruling this earth, man. It starts with this word, this wisdom. This is the true red pill. But it comes with even more, way more than that whole movement.
I think like 27 or something.
True wisdom literally ruling on the planet earth, man. But it starts with us as a people.
Prepare thyself when you come to serve the Lord. In other words, prepare thyself to be a son of the Lord. That's really what he's saying in Sirach 2.
That's what Yahweh Shah's walk was all about.
Right.
Being obedient to the cross.
Right.
As a son.
Right. And as we know, Yahweh called Yahweh Shah sent us. He sent Yahweh Shah sent us. Gave us the perfect example of how to be one of those sons. Right.
I don't know what that was going in.
Of Yahweh. Go ahead.
Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Key word, my son. Okay, you want to be my son? Well, prepare. Okay, for temptation. Okay, because a lot of things gonna come that you're gonna have to deal with, and still deal with the fear, and still deal with fearing me at the same time. Even though you get pulled here, you get pulled there, you're looking up in the heavens, oh man, I'm tripping. It's all over the place sometimes. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
Set your mind aright and set your spirit aright. Examine yourself to see where you're going. Okay? Examine and make sure that your light is not dim, but it's light, it's on fire, it's burning. That the nation of Israel can see it whether they hate you or not. Because there's an elect group out of those people who are going to see it. Okay, go ahead.
And make not haste in the time of trouble.
Go ahead.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou may be increased at thy last end.
Hey, be meek. See? Yeah. You mentioned like Moses being a meek. He cleaved. It said Moses was the meekest on the earth. That's what it said. And he spoke to Moses face to face. So that's a perfect example of how huge of a deal being meek is to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's a huge deal.
Accepting the judgment.
Right. Because it says the meek shall inherit the earth.
Right.
That's not a small statement, man. That the meek shall inherit the whole earth. That's a big deal.
Real quick. This is David in Psalms 51 and 17. When it say, make your body a living sacrifice. The sacrifices of the Most High are a broken spirit and a broken, contrite heart O power thou wilt not despise.
See, now, let me say this. Part of chastisement, by the way, when you spiritually think about it, part of the chastisement is you feeling like shit. Think about it. You still gotta go to work. You still gotta go to work and feel like shit. And in your conscience, in your mind, damn, that's part of chastising you, man. Okay? You feeling low like that.
We're
man.
learning obedience.
Right. That kind. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So understand that he don't always have to do something particularly to you, like so it's so obvious, like just the way you feel, feeling bad, and still got to deal with everyday life, man. It's a chastisement on your ass. Because he's showing you. Do you see when you do this how it makes you feel, son? Yeah. You don't feel good, do you? You see? Go ahead.
Verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Take it because I put it on you.
Go ahead for a minute.
Take it because I am the controller. I'm the creator of good and evil. I'm the one that put it on you in the first place. So take it. Okay, if you take it, I'll build you up. I'm the one that break down and make sore and bind up and build you up again.
Right.
That's me. I'm he. Go ahead.
Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in a furnace of adversity.
That's how you're gonna be accepted. Having faith through all this, man. Okay, because it says our faith is on trial. Let patience have her perfect work, experience, hope, going through the process that he set for us. Not in our own mind of how we want to do things. Yeah, we got our own ideas. It don't fucking matter.
Right.
At the end of the day, we ain't your how about you about shot. They got they plan set no matter what we think. So when we deal with something, we got to deal with it according to how they said. If we don't, he get this long rope, and eventually we ain't listening. He cut that rope. Then what you gonna do? You gonna be in the world bugged out, talking to yourself? Well, obvious boogers in your nose, you can't even pick yourself. You just bugged out your mind. Go ahead.
Verse 6, believe in him, and he will help thee.
Believe, even though you brought to a lower state, even though I'm gonna take you through these different things, believe in him. Believe in your how about Shema Shah. Even though I'm taking you through all these different things, you still better believe in me. And if you don't, if you faint, it's over for you.
Right.
I'm gonna screw you out.
In the day of adversity, the strength is weak.
Right. Come on, man. You're not gonna get a crown in your head full of opals and stones for nothing. You ain't gonna get new bodies for nothing. We gotta work, man. Right. Even though it hurts, we gotta work. This is that path. This is that through much tribulation shall you enter to the kingdom of heaven. But like it says in Romans 8, is those tribulations gonna come in between you and me? If it does, you done. If it don't, you won. You endured. Even though I took you through all these roller coasters, you kept your faith intact. And when I came to the earth, I found it. So I got you.
Go ahead. Verse 6 from the top says, believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way right and trust in him.
That trust, man. And all these stories show how our people trusted in Yahweh Shema Shah. Okay, go ahead.
Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall.
Ooh, read that one more time.
Verse 7. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall.
Now, that ain't talking about just the mercy of him getting you at the end, because there's a process to get there.
Right.
During that process, we need mercy all the time in situations. So what he's saying, yeah, I did it to you, son. Yeah, I brought you low. You ain't feeling good. You're sick. You this, you that. I did it. Be patient. Okay? Accept my fire. Let me build you up. Right?
Because one thing I'm noticing about this attacks your integrity, your character. This builds. You get through one phase of it, you get through with it, you keep going through something else. So there's another character flaw that's in you the Lord is purging out of us, man.
Yeah.
It's a character, two-edged sword, man.
Right.
It's character building.
Inward, man.
Right. Yeah.
It searches the inward.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And check what it said. It said, wait for the mercy. That's being patient. So you want something to happen, you hurt, you burn, your head hurt, you're like, Lord, please. You got to be patient and wait for him to do something when he want to do it, because he might say, son, it ain't time yet.
Right.
I still want you to burn for the next week or for the next month. You know what I'm saying? Your back out. I still want your back out for 2 weeks. It ain't time yet. All kinds of diverse situations, but you got to be patient through it all. And that's what this chapter is going into when you come serve the Lord. Go ahead. Some of you got real quick. Okay, go ahead.
This is Isaiah 30, verse 18. And just get right to it. It says, and therefore will the Lord wait, that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For Yahweh is a power of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him.
Right. Wait patiently, man.
wouldn't say
Wait with integrity. Wait with the mindset that, hey, maybe some of you ain't had, but guess what? You ain't dead. You ain't on the street picking out of dumpsters. Right? You still got your daily bread. You still got a roof over your head, whether it's the roof you want or not. In general, you still gotta wait, man. Go ahead.
2 Ezra 7:57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. That is, if he be overcome, he shall suffer, all right, thou hast said, but if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say.
Yeah, right.
That's the condition of the battle.
Either you're going to be on one side or the other.
And the fact that we have this word anyway, and the fact that we're able to offer up a sacrifice as Israelites, that's mercy.
Man.
Yeah. Because the first covenant, we don't meet that standard of offering up a sacrifice.
Right.
We're not in Jerusalem. We don't have a high priest after the order of Aaron. So under this grace period, the sacrifice is what? A broken spirit, a contrite heart. You.
Right.
That's what Yahweh Shai put forth when he went on that cross. He basically understood, in my physical body, I'm messed up as Adam. In my physical body, I ruined the nation as Solomon. Right. Adam and Solomon that's the top of our captivity. He's not only the alpha in righteousness, he's the alpha of our fall. Oh, Adam, what hast thou done? So here it is, we're in this flesh because of Adam, and we're in this captivity of Babylon via Solomon.
Right.
But so Yahweh Shai's act of humility was, this life, I'm gonna give up the whole body. I'm gonna give it up. I'm gonna give this up. This.
Right. Hey. I'm gonna give y'all a new way through me. A new way through me. Because it says what through one man we all die, right? And then through one we come back to life and justified. You know.
Left that woman alone.
Yep.
Right.
He was like, I'm gonna be obedient this time. To the point, I'm gonna give this life up. That's a hell of a movie, man.
Man, you'll never end that movie.
Because the Lord requires sacrifice, but he was the sacrifice.
Right.
Now, under his sacrifice, this is our sacrifice. See? Yep. Being patient, long-suffering, putting on the elect. Okay, rejoicing that these prophecies coming to pass. Being fervent for the word of Yahweh Bashim Shai. It's the least we can do.
Because Yahweh sent his son in sinful flesh to be an example. So we got to look forward to. So we can't be judged by the law. It's Yahweh. Well, real quick. Romans 8:3. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, the Most High sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemns sin in the flesh. So we got. Now you got. Now go ahead. Now you got it. Read it again. This overcame death. Now you're right. So Yahweh in the son, Yahweh Shai, in the likeness of flesh. So this is the example to be in, man. See,
Right.
that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. Because you went into about we are the sons, right?
Right.
I'm gonna jump down to verse 14, Romans 8:14. For as many as are led by the Spirit of the Most High, they are the sons of the Most High.
Woo. Hey, led by the spirit of faith in Yahweh Shai. Because Romans 5, what? 5 verse 1, that gives you the access. And that gives you peace with the Father, that you believe in Yahweh Shai on that level, and you have faith in Yahweh Shai on that level, and what the meaning of him coming down here was about overall in general. If you believe in that, that's counted for righteousness. Right? Going that path.
Right.
While you still got Jakes in this time trying to go the old path like somehow they justified.
Can't do that.
Well, they ain't listening to these. They ain't listening to the real prophets.
Under
They
that way,
weren't understand.
you had your justification was through perfection in the law.
Right.
So you're already at a disadvantage. So So we had to be justified by faith. That fulfills the law. Walking in the Spirit, which that gives you comfort.
Man.
Now you still keep the law. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
But you're fulfilling the law through the sacrifice.
Right.
What you're offering up on the altar, which is who you are, man. You're an inward man. See?
Right. And that's a good point to make because, again, it's not that we saying don't look at the law.
Right.
But think about it this way. If you were to just focus on the law, you would be depressed all the time, and then you would never look at the new way that Yahweh Shah provided, or that Yahweh provided by sending Yahweh Shah down here. You would never look at it that way, which is the only way you can be saved. You can't be saved. So that's what you have Jake come, well, y'all right now, man. We are teaching it the correct way.
Well, you wouldn't even get through your day.
Right.
You would be like, damn, my woman on a period.
Thank you.
Oh man.
I'm unclean. I gotta cleanse myself. Damn. I wonder if they cook the food that they fed me on the
Same grill.
On the same grill.
You'll go
Everything
crazy.
will be a perpetual worry and weigh you down. It's not that you don't worry about those things and be like grieve with it, like damn, but you lean on the blood of Yahweh Shai.
Yes.
In those instances where it's impossible.
Right.
To be justified. You know it's impossible. I can't fulfill that. I can't be justified by the law. There's no way when I read it. So you find comfort through the blood of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
You gotta let Yahweh Shai is your friend. He said, get that. I'll call you no longer servants.
John 15.
What he did was an act of friendship.
Right.
I would do that for y'all if I had the ability to take you out of bondage to the law through me offering my life, so that we can have a way back to the Father and access. That is that is an act of friendship. That is the greatest friend you could ever have.
Man.
How many people you know that'll do that for their best friend?
See, 14. You got it down to 14. You see?
He did that for all of us, starting with the elect. No goddamn Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King.
This is John 15 and verse 13. It says, greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend.
He laid down his life for his friend. That's what he did. He knew like this is their only way back, and this is my mission. This is how I'm gonna attain Godhead on earth again.
Right.
Man, when you think about when you think about it, before Yahweh Shah came down from the heavens to fulfill that mission, Yahweh telling him, look, that's the only way I'm gonna deal with him.
Right.
God, man, you can't, man. If that doesn't touch you to your core, you need to examine yourself.
Right.
That shit makes you like, whoa, hold up.
Right.
He literally told you, look, man, no, I ain't dealing with their asses unless you go down there and do this. You're like, whoa.
That was written because when you read Revelation 13, real quick, we get this real quick. Whoever was reading, hold what you got.
John,
So when you get Revelation 13 and 8, it says, and all that dwell on the earth shall worship him, talking about worship Esau, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So the Lord that was already written before the foundation of the earth, that he was going to come to the earth and do that. So there came a time where the Lord was like, you go come in flesh, you go feel pain, you go shit, you go eat. In your own creation, you're going to have to be a slave to Esau, the Romans. Your own people going to come up against you. And your only way to be justified as my son is to go all the way to the end of that thing. Which means you're going to have to get your ass beat. Bro, you're going to have to fulfill what was written.
That is high level. Man, look, to go from up there to here in this flesh. Come on, man.
Philippians tells you he didn't boast in his divine order. He took on the form of a servant and was obedient unto death.
What's crazy is Yahweh created all these seeds. He know which seeds going to go through it.
Right.
He know which seeds are the elect and everything. He already know. Man, that's crazy.
This is back in John 15 and 14. It says, ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you.
See, there's a standard.
Yeah.
It's something we got to do. You can't just say his friend. You know, no. There's no such thing as unconditional love. Love has conditions. Your love has conditions. Oh, some of you. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth.
Right.
But
Go ahead.
but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto thee.
Damn.
And he's making known it to us. When he was there, he was literally the comforter. He comforted them with opening up their understanding, breaking the things down. Now he's comforting us as he's on the right-hand side of the Father.
Right.
Sending down gifts unto men so that we can fulfill the mission.
Right. And that's why he told what he said, in those days shall my servant fast whenever he ain't with him, because he gonna sit. So that lets you know that there's things we gotta do, even fasting, because that came out of Yahweh's mouth. He said that. In those days shall they fast. What was he talking about? He knew it was gonna be so hard that there's moments in certain demons that you're gonna have to give your flesh a break, man.
The Day of Atonement coming Thursday and Sunday.
That's a spirit.
So just think about that. When you fasting, you're separating from the chemicals. The chemicals Esau put in the food is to separate you from the Lord. So when you're not partaking in the chemicals, you become more angel-like. Angels don't eat or drink. When you're fasting, you become more like an angel. That's pleasing unto the Lord. That's a sacrifice. Now, outside of the Day of Atonement, there's no order or law saying you gotta fast, but in spirit, you should be fasting.
Right.
At least sometime, at least intermittent fasting.
Something.
Separate from the carnal bread and leaning on the spiritual bread. And there was a nigga preacher who said it. I got to give it to him. He had a shag. He had the front missing, then he had a shag in the back. With that thick Steve Harvey mustache. He said, you know one thing? He said something. Our people will fast,
Right. Yeah.
but they don't read and lean on the Lord while they fast.
Right.
They just fasting, but they living their everyday life. You fasting watching a movie. You're not fasting,
Listen to something.
Right.
you know,
right.
going into the scriptures, doing something.
Yep.
Zoned in spiritually.
Going over your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Read that again.
This is back in John 15, verse 15. He say, henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you.
Man, look what we've learned in these latter days, what we've been privy to. Only a friend will give you that type of information.
Right.
That's your friend. Yahweh Shah is the greatest friend we can have, man. Look what he's done with us.
Yep.
And you go get this word and be proud and become, nah, man, you're supposed to be the receptive. That's why, like, the bottom chicks are the best.
Right.
Because they really appreciate your ass. They looking at you in your eyes and they're like, nah, I love this nigga.
Yep. Humble.
Yeah, they humble. Right?
No, it's
that's
good.
how we're supposed to be with the Lord, man.
Yeah, because the Lord took us from a downhill state
Right.
and got us to this stage now. Right.
Sit
It's
back.
in the school. I forget where it's at.
Send wisdom from the heavens to us.
Right.
Come on.
He said he made the impossible possible. How is that? Because his blood. With him walking that perfect walk upon the earth, he give us a chance to be delivered. Because you got to remember too. I think the other mentioned earlier, the Lord is going to judge the earth by the law. So we will be through if we didn't receive that.
Anyways,
that
right. Ain't no. Ooh.
God damn.
Good point.
Ooh,
Great
we
point.
hurt. We try to put on fringes.
Ain't nothing working.
She got misfired. Ain't nothing working.
Like, well, I was wearing them every day, Lord. Hell no. Nothing will work. We'd be through. Automatic condemnation.
Oh, man.
So the grace was a beautiful thing for us, man.
Man.
Because it gave us the ability to operate on the fly in the wilderness. That's what the wilderness was, like a literal tabernacle. They were on the fly, you know, dwelling with the presence of the Lord through the tabernacle. They weren't in Jerusalem, but they were able to keep the Passover.
Right.
So ultimately, that's what we're doing. We're able to offer up a sacrifice. We're able to have a connection with our power as we're scattered away from, you know, Jerusalem.
Right.
as we don't have a standing physical temple, now we act as the temple on the fly in the wilderness, moving about on our way to the Holy Land.
All over again.
Through Yahweh Shai. Right. With us.